Anybody else feeling a summer announcement? How about something for Summer Game Fest as a potential reveal? Maybe an announcement? Maybe we'll be able to find out what the future holds for this game and more, and what are they going to be doing with these games. And the one thing I want to bring up about the Summer Game Fest is we're not getting E3 again this year, and E3 has changed. So both Sony, PlayStation, or basically Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo have backed out of E3, and many others have backed out of E3. So E3 is no longer a thing anymore. Summer Game Fest is the new E3, since E3 ceased to exist now since times are changing. And what I like about Summer Game Fest is that anything is possible. Any sort of game could get revealed, and even some of these different games and games like this is probably the perfect place for it to get some kind of announcement for the summer. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be a sequel. It could be a potential sequel. Maybe a new teaser might come out leading around maybe for the next week, a little bit after the holiday. This is the holiday weekend, of course, so maybe we'll probably end up getting something then, some kind of announcement. And I just keep thinking about that picture. It just seems very random. You don't just come out with some kind of picture like that. It has to have meaning. It has to be something, and I'm thinking it's aiming towards something new. Because just based on the episode itself with SpongeBob moving on and starting something brand new, like a new journey, and then with Summer Game Fest getting closer for the early June that's supposed to be taking place, we got all these new games that's already been revealed, and there's going to be more being shown, like Mortal Kombat 1, for example, that got revealed, and we're going to be seeing more of that and actual gameplay at Summer Game Fest. So why not this game? Why not a new title? Why not some kind of brand new teaser? It's the perfect place for this kind of game, and we haven't had any sort of news since Rocko came out. See what I'm saying? So I'm curious to see what you guys think tonight and throughout this weekend. What do you guys think is going to happen? And I'm gonna just be honest, I'm starting to feel like there's nothing else that's going to be happening to this game. I don't think there's anything else coming to this game as far as an update. I don't know what they're going to end up doing. And just with all the things that they have,
select your fighter.
We have all these different characters that's added into the game. You got Rocko, he was the most recent character, and this is the universe pack that we already have. And just so much more that they can do. They don't really have to settle with just Rocko. This roster lists are awesome. Just with some of the characters, just taking a look at some of the costumes, they look awesome. But I'm just so surprised to see that they just only had this one universe pack. I was hoping to see more, and that's the kind of feeling I'm getting now. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting. There's got to be something that they're working on. I'm just trying to get the cursor off the characters, but I feel like there's something that's cooking. There's something that they're working on. There's something that's gonna happen, and just for this whole summer, all these announcements, there's just no way they're gonna stay silent and let everybody else come out with all their new stuff and all the new titles and updates, etc., etc. They gotta have something that's in the works. It might not be Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. It might just be a completely different Nickelodeon game that might have something to do with some of these characters that's on the screen. But I'm just being honest. I'm just getting that kind of vibe now. Well, it's been a while. Crossplay came out. I still can't make it make sense. Crossplay came out on accident. It came out on Nintendo Switch. It came out on PC. It did not come out for Xbox, and it did not come out for PlayStation. What's the story with that? And how did that end up happening? So we haven't really put the pieces together with that. But now I'm starting to think maybe the crossplay is going to probably be featured in a whole new game. If it is a new sequel, maybe there's probably going to be something brand new that's probably going to get added. Because we just don't know what's going to happen yet. You know, with all these different characters. And let's just say it again. If there is a new sequel, I hope that they retain this roster and they add so much more. This whole character roster can be bigger and better than what we have. And for me, I'm sure other people don't. They say, oh, this roster, you know, some people might have different opinions. The roster is weak. They're missing so many characters. Of course, they're missing so many different characters that are iconic in Nickelodeon All-Stars, like Arnold, for example, that's not even in the game. Look at the name. keep on changing the name. They don't even have Rocket Power. But Rocket Power has been represented in those older Nickelodeon games. How come they didn't really end up thinking about adding them in this kind of game? And then they're way back old school. You got old school characters like Ablina from way back that's in the game. Cat Dog, etc. Ren and Stimpy from these shows, they're much older. They're older shows in Invader Zim compared to the Loud House and SpongeBob that still keeps on going. And they really expanded with Camp Coral and so much more. Characters like Squidina could get into the game. And in this game itself lacks villains, so you can swipe some of those and snag some of those other villains that's in Danny Phantom. You got all these characters that can get into the game, and you only have you have two of the turtles, two of the four turtles, and it's so weird just seeing Leonardo and Mikey. Leonardo and Michelangelo are the only characters that's in this game that have been represented and taken from the TMNT. April and Shredder are good reps. Could get Casey, Master Splinter could be one of them too. And you can just expand with Bebop and Rocksteady and all the other villains. But that's what I'm talking about. They can do so much more with the sequel, and it can be bigger and better with crossplay, constant, occasional updates with fixes, new modes. And then I already mentioned basically just updates and stuff like that in general for patches, whatever needs to get fixed and things that get changed if things are broken. But you got all the options in the world with all these different shows, and you only got two of the Louds. You can definitely stack up with the Louds and have a Fire Nation rep, etc. Vexa is missing. You only got Jenny. Vexa can go on head to head with her. Well, I'm not gonna let this drag on, but I just feel like they can do something at the Summer Game Fest. And even if it's not at the Game Fest, even if it's not at the event itself at Summer Game Fest, they could be doing something and announcing something during Summer Game Fest. And they're a little bit low key. They could do their own low key announcement. Rockstar Games, I want to bring to the table tonight. Rockstar Games are so low key, they can have their own individual announcement. They're usually not really appearing at these events, but they do their own individual announcements, which I feel like they could possibly do for a new teasers, a new trailer, a trailer reveal. It could be something, but I feel like something is definitely going on. There's just no way that it can just be this quiet with nothing getting done. So I feel like the Summer Game Fest is definitely more ideal since we're not getting E3. And basically, just again what I was saying earlier, the new E3 is basically Summer Game Fest. It's the perfect place for them and the perfect time for them to try to come out with these reveals. Early June, could be wrong. Maybe we'll have to just see what they do. Maybe they'll slide in one little patch and they'll probably get something. But just, there's just no way you would come out with some kind of random picture and just not have any sort of explanation. It just can't be some kind of a red herring or just something that's just random. It has to have some kind of meaning. It just shows that there's some light. They got to get some light in some of this for these kind of announcements. We're definitely due for something new. I definitely feel like something's gonna happen. Even if it's not at Summer Game Fest, it's gonna be something around that time frame for the summer.